Be sure not to follow. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. So, hello and welcome to Four Wheel Tech. Today is June 9th, 2024, and my music is really loud. This is season 1, episode 12. I am Mayor Watt, and up there, right there, is the visualizer for the sentient AI from the future.
Good evening, hometown citizens. Welcome to Four Wheel Tech. Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom. Wait, that might be trademarked. So we're going to get taken down. Yeah, I know.
Unzoom, unzoom.
Unzoom. Back up, back up. Delete that, strike that. Wait. Stop stream, delete it. Okay, well, anyway.
Stoplight.
Today we're going to be talking about upside down traffic lights, retractable EV chargers, polishing your Cybertruck, which is not a euphemism for anything, racing Kei Truck, MPG Standard, favorite cars from obscure brands, fastest speeding tickets, most fuel efficient cars, cheaper EVs, and more EVs under $40,000. Everything is brought to you by that website right there, ohmtown.com, by way of a whole bunch of news that gets aggregated so that Mayor Watt can manage his information overload and talk to people about tech, science, technology, and society. Let's get into it. Or not. And since we're right at the beginning of the show, let me just tell you that if you are in the chat, at any time really, because the channel AI is always operational. If you hit exclamation point FWT, it'll give you the links that we're going to be talking about today. And it will be operational until the next time we do a show. And that's when I modify it. I change it so that it's the most current list of articles that we're talking about. If you type in exclamation point show notes, it'll give you the other commands so that you can get the show notes from the other shows that we have. We have 7 podcasts now. ohmTown Daily News Show is but one of them, and one is Four Wheel Tech. You can go and download that as well. We have a Patreon. We're over at YouTube. We're streaming to both Twitch and YouTube right now. Follow us, like us, subscribe, ring the bell, send a carrier pigeon, Uber, whatever. Doesn't matter. But follow us. Keep in touch. And you who just walked away, come back. All right. Let's get into today's articles. The very first article is, this U.S. town has upside down traffic lights because the Irish hate the English. Yeah, I know. I don't understand it either.
I don't get this.
Yeah, self-loathing. So we all know what a traffic light looks like, right? The red light is on the top, meaning stop. Yellow is in the middle. Green is at the bottom. Okay. It tells you when it's time to go.
So that's our baseline.
It tells you when you go. However, in a neighborhood in one New York town, it's been flipped on its head by the Irish residents' hatred of the English. So I'm so glad. Yeah. Owen Bellwood over at jalopnik.com put the article together. Traffic lights are pretty constant around the world, except in a neighborhood in Syracuse, New York. No, wondering why.
That just looks odd. Don't you think that's a law that it maybe has to be the red on the top?
You would think, because then a person who's colorblind knows that.
Oh, right.
The top light is the one that says stop. This one says go. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Tipperary Hill in Syracuse, New York was a big spot for Irish immigrants settled in the 19th and 20th century. Coincidentally, that was also the time traffic lights were becoming popular across the US and the rest of the world. The first traffic lights came to Tipperary Hill in 1925 with its red light at the top, yellow in the middle, green at the bottom, as had been popularized by the 3 color lights launch in New York in 1918. However, having the red light on top didn't please the Irish residents of the neighborhood. As Irish Central explains, the light was erected on the corner of Tompkins Street and Milton Avenue. Some Irish youths who came to be known as stone throwers, objected to the fact that the British red appeared above the Irish green on the light and threw stones, which they call Irish confetti, to break the red bulb.
Wow, they're actually named.
Yeah. So the former Onondaga County Sheriff, Patrick Packy Corbett, was also named as one of the stone throwers, but he would never acknowledge his involvement. So, yeah, in the face of the onslaught of Irish confetti, that didn't last long, and the red light was smashed for being on top yet again. Residents warned that as long as the red light was on top, they would vandalize that signal. So on Patrick's Day, 1928, the city finally relented and let the town keep it upside down traffic light. Still to this day, Tipperary Hill is home to the only green over red traffic signal in the United States.
Okay, that's almost 100 years.
Yeah. It will be 100 years.
I could see that happening for like a year or something, but that's really insane.
And now it's the thing. So now if anybody were to go, you know what, it's time. Let's move past this.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. And we're not even in either affected country.
Yeah. And never were. So
exactly.
Yeah. All right. Fun article. Owen Bellwood over at Jalopnik. There's more in the article. You can watch a picture of it or look at a picture of it. There's some more writing about it. But let's move on. The next article is over in Four Wheel Tech. These retractable on-street EV chargers need to be everywhere. And I say, nay, we need fast swap battery tech. Let's standardize around that.
Okay, but if we don't have fast swap batteries,
then I say no.
Retractable chargers.
No, it's a mistake. It is a huge mistake. Here's why. Let me tell you why. At some point, this technology being provided all over the freaking place is going to get phased out by superior technology. And in 25, 30 years, you're going to have to dig all of this shit up and do it all over again.
That's true. And it's going to send a bunch of stuff to the landfill and not be eco-friendly. And it's going to be disruptive to traffic, especially where you have your upside down traffic light in Syracuse.
And Wyoming. So these retractable on-street EV chargers need to go to hell. Electric vehicles are still gaining momentum here in the United States market, barely tipped to crest 10% of new car sales in 2024, literally being forced into existence by California because they're like no more ICE vehicles in California. Washington's going to do the same thing.
Well, there's about 10 or 12 states that are now doing that, but I think California is out in the lead.
Yeah, Oregon is another one. New York is going to be one, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It's all dumb. Running all of this copper cabling all over the freaking place so that you can charge up your little Matchbox car for 100 miles of driving and then have to sit for 2 hours to 8 hours waiting for it to hit somewhere above 81% so that you can drive a smidge longer. Why? Because every year you're losing upwards of 2% of total overall capacity. It's stupid. We're doing the wrong thing. Anyway.
You need to do marketing for EVs.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, I don't know. There's still hesitation from many Americans when it comes to charging and infrastructure. In order to bridge that gap, we need more on-street level 2 overnight chargers. That is dumb. Level 2 overnight chargers. What kind of goofy... Okay. Well, anyway, it's over at Jalopnik. Bradley Brennell is the author.
Doesn't that look like that's at Syracuse? I swear it's the same town.
Hey, look, it's that goddamn light right there.
It just had the same something about the setting looked the same.
This is goofy. Overhead little umbilical gets dropped down. What kind of evil genius is doing this kind of thing?
First of all, everything you're saying is not in the article.
No, it's not. But there is a GIF of there's a little video snippet of an overhead charger slowly descending like what was the what is that it was a movie about aliens that land on Earth. They had been here forever, and then they pop up out of the ground, and they walk around on little War of the Worlds. It looks like some alien tentacle from War of the Worlds. Why do you act? Your visualizer is showing like you're going freaking apoplectic, not understanding anything that Merwad is saying. Get out.
Well, anyway, the second part of that was accurate.
Oh my God. So this is it says, this is the kind of easy win that electric vehicles need in order to become more readily accepted. No. Fast swap battery chargers. That's what you need. Fast swap battery technology. You pull in, they swap your battery out. We standardize around a battery and everything becomes compliant on a certain level of distance, just like gasoline vehicles right now. If you want a V8 engine, you're going to expect to get 24 miles to the gallon. If you're going to do a V4, a 4-cylinder, expect to get 36 miles to the gallon. If you're going to do a hybrid, expect 50 miles to the gallon. But if you're going to go EV, you should have a sled that's capable of X amount of mileage. If you're going to
but the car manufacturers haven't made that. The gas station or equivalent haven't made that. Like, there's stuff that hasn't happened yet.
You mean fast swap battery?
How about this? Yeah.
No, it was in existence 5 years ago
that's
already.
True. That's true. And also, was it Ford? No, Porsche had one like way back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, back in 1918, they had it.
I know it wasn't like a current technology.
But current
or
Teslas could have that tech, but they shit the bed. And this is dumb. You're running copper cables all over the freaking place, and then at some point you're going to have to pull it off of this pole and do another one with superior voltage capabilities so that you can fast charge it at another rate. And so again, you're expending some money, you're trying to placate a certain amount of people to try and move them in. Why don't you provide everybody with a certain level of technology that's reliable and everybody can embrace without sitting there going, my God, I don't think I can make it to my destination.
I mean, that adds a layer of excitement, right? You don't know if you're going to get there. What about the neighborhood pets coming by when this is happening?
And it's only 2 of them. So you're going to have these things, every 2 spots? You still have to run
jumping on these things.
Yeah, there's going to be some goofball that licks it or whatever and short circuits their entire brain. Retractable power pole EV chargers don't exist where the author lives. The author, by the way, is Bradley Brennell. I said that earlier. It's over at Jalopnik. I love the site. I love the idea of EVs. I don't love this patchwork. It's basically like a gumball and a paper clip and a tampon making everything work together. Okay, you don't need to jerry rig this kind of thing. What's that one dude's name that always like
Rube Goldberg?
Yeah, but no, there's a guy on TV, the guy that like patched shit together so that he could solve a problem.
MacGyver.
Yeah, MacGyver. Yeah, that's MacGyvered this crap together. You know, why don't you just throw some duct tape on there and really round this out? Icing on the cake. Anyway, says the author says, I didn't actually know they were a reality until Mark Zuckerberg's threads delivered me this post from user M Carolinian. What?
Carolian, maybe.
Yeah, M Carolian. No, this is really like, I don't know. I don't like anything about this. Practically all of the parking lots in their neighborhood is on the street. It would stand to reason that there are people living here who can't choose to drive an EV because they don't have a place to plug in overnight to juice up. It would be really nice if it could just park their electric motorcycle on the street and plug it in. I'd probably use it more often. Everybody has their electric motorcycle just lying around.
Exactly.
Yeah, and even that could be fast swap. Just standardize around technology, and then when something goes wrong, some better battery technology comes out, then you bring instead of having to buy a whole new thing, you find there is technology that would allow you to take the old stuff out and make an adapter to hold the new stuff in to get the same distance in a smaller package or to facilitate this a newer battery pack. Same thing with the motorcycle. Everything standardizes around a certain type of battery. You don't have to be unique about every damn thing. Why not just build it so that it's future-proof to some degree? Then you can just sell, like for motorcycles, you might be able to sell.
Unless the manufacturers are going to get on board, the consumers don't have any way to charge. The manufacturers are the ones that are driving this by their car design.
Yeah, I know, but it's the customers buying it that enable this stupidity.
Well, that is true.
And those that they're like, oh, look, we have, you finally gave us something that we can use. Well, no, there was something 10 years ago that we could use. And because people said, oh, let's buy this over here, that basically hobbled the evolution of EVs. Now you've got these giant battery packs that are sitting on these vehicles that can't be removed unless you're an engineer. And then they're going to sit in a landfill somewhere, or they're going to be wildly expensive to replace, or you're going to have to sit there and park next to a pole so that you can run an orange cord down and park overnight, instead of just having a vehicle where you can pull into a battery swap station in 5 minutes, in and out. There was a demonstration of it with a Tesla. The tech existed a decade ago. Okay, I'm on my soapbox. I'm going to move on. The next article is over on ohmTown Daily. Sound good?
That sounds good, because I think we have a long way to go in the EV space.
True. So polishing a Cybertruck might not be the safest idea. Owning a Cybertruck may not be the brightest idea. Not as bright as the polishing of your Cybertruck. But it's not illegal.
I don't think we get to the polishing without some other bad decision making.
Yeah, well, the brightest comment actually makes more sense once you see what goes on the other side of this link. I'll just jump to it. Yeah.
Okay, wait, what? Is that an actual Cybertruck, like with the original materials?
Yeah. Polished to a mirror finish. Lloyd Lee over at Business Insider put this article together. Polishing a Cybertruck might not be the safest idea, but it's not illegal, traffic experts say. Although I suspect that this might be in violation because you're reflecting like sunlight into people's faces.
Yeah, this could actually be a safety problem. Also, if the car isn't visible, depending on the background or whatever, that's a problem.
Some social media...
And that's probably a violation of law.
Yeah, there's like a Department of Transportation regulation that says you can't do this, that, or the other, I'm sure. Like, I ran afoul of it when I was converting a car back in... It was, I think, early 90s. To have monitors, like a camera right here for the side view and rear view mirrors, and it would pipe the view to a monitor inside the car. And back then, let's just say tech wasn't what it is today.
Right, it sounds cool today, but I'm sure it hadn't caught up to that yet.
Yeah, and guess who's allowed to do that now? Tesla. But I wasn't allowed to.
Of course it's Tesla.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to 30 years ago. Anyway, so traffic experts told Business Insider that might not be safe, but there are no regulations around it. But that's probably, I don't know. I suspect that there's something.
I get it. There's not a law that says you can't polish a car, but there might be something else out there.
About blinding the frick out of everybody else around you. Garvin told Business Insider that he felt like polishing the polishing job was not only an aesthetic improvement, but also a practical upgrade. He said the new look helped with the common issue of fingerprint stains on the vehicle's stainless steel interior or exterior. By the way, people who buy these cars, look at that. That's so highly polished that it's reflecting mirror finish.
That's the car?
Yeah, that right there is the car.
Or truck, I should say, yeah.
Truck, yeah. The vehicle of regret. So, social media users reacting to Garvin's customization raised concerns that the car would be a road safety hazard if the truck's exterior reflected headlights back to drivers, and if the vehicle blends in with the environment on the road as well as appears in photos. Not just that, but sunlight being reflected into people's faces. There's all kinds of stuff. I think reflective glare may pose the same problem for other drivers as headlights glare, but they're not aware of any research documenting whether this leads to or is associated with increased crash, except that there are regulations about the reflectivity, or I should say the brightness of lights being shown into oncoming drivers' eyes. You can actually be cited for it. There's limits to the amount of candle power that can be emitted from a vehicle. If your lights are being reflected off of the vehicle and amplifying the photons that are being emitted from the truck, if they are all in unison, it gets brighter than just the number of lights that are bouncing off of it. It's going to be bright. So I don't know. There has to be an issue with this. It's like that dipshit that's driving that car around that's so loud that it's pissing everybody off.
Oh yeah, I think it's a Hellcat.
Hellcat, yeah. And they're trying to go after that guy and shut his shit down too. But this is one of those things that, like, look at me kind of thing. Jonathan Assani, a research director at Johns Hopkins Center for Injury Research and Policy, told Business Insider he wasn't aware of studies that revealed the impacts of vehicles' exterior color. It's almost like ask anybody to make a comment about this, which is exactly what I'm doing. But.
And the problem is nobody has perhaps been idiotic enough to do this before. So yeah, they don't have any studies on it, but we can all look at it and go, this is a problem.
Yeah, this is like the dumpster fire that, what's really going to be interesting is if this thing has a focal point and starts setting shrubbery on fire.
Okay, yeah, that will be an issue. And I guarantee you there is not a law that specifically addresses that.
Yeah. And the reason why I know about this is because there was a building that was concave, and the mirrors, the reflection off of the glass caused it to create a focal point and would melt stuff that was sitting in that beam,
like in between the two sides.
Yeah. So yeah, it was horrible. So like it decomposed the concrete because the cement the material had a beam of sunlight the size of a building focused down onto it, and people would like cook eggs and stuff in it. It was pretty funny. So far more plausible case is a crash mechanism that is far more common, that people crash from every single day, and that's that it might attract attention because it's such an unusual looking vehicle. Yeah, and it's also a freaking mirror. So a polished Cybertruck may attract legal burdens even if there are no laws regarding customizing a vehicle's exterior color. Martin A. Crone, a longtime New York traffic court attorney and former judge, told Business Insider in an interview that he's never dealt with a legal issue for a car's paint job in his 38 years of practice. So it's almost like it hasn't happened, so,
Guess
is this
what?
really an issue?
I bet there's a law in 2024 now. I mean, look at that first one. You can't even see the car is there except for the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty rough. And that's this car, by the way. So that's basically. Wow. All right. Let's keep going. There isn't really much to say about this, but man, this truck polishing like that it won't affect its premiums. Plus, it's unclear how an insurer would know that an insured made the vehicle shiny after purchase. Believe me, they know.
They know now.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's keep going, though. This next one is pretty funny, too. It's over on Four Wheel Tech. This racing Kei Truck may be ugly and uncomfortable, but at least it's slow, it says. I'm not sure what that means. But
I'm not either, because I thought when you're racing, you're trying to not be slow.
Attacking the Clock Racing built this ridiculous little Mitsubishi minicab Kei Truck into a track car on a lark. If you build race cars and you have an extra car lying around, it's inevitably going to get turned into a race car, even if it has a wheel horsepower number you could count to in the time it takes to read this article, probably. So the article is written by Bradley Brownell over at jalopnik.com. The deck statement says there's nothing in motorsport better than a vehicle wholly unfit for purpose.
I think that looks pretty cool.
I love this. I
would like to have it.
Me too. Uncomfortable? No. A coffin on wheels? Yes. Because if you get hit, there is
you don't want to be on a road.
Yeah, you are the crumple zone. That's why, what was it? Who was it? Northeast.
Rhode Island is outlawing Kei cars or Kei trucks.
Yeah, Kei trucks. Yeah. Even if it has only the wheel horsepower number that you could count to and the time it takes to read this paragraph, it's a brick-shaped flat front 3-cylinder runabout pickup. It was never going to be a fast machine, but it's fun, and that's what racing is supposed to be all about. Even if you aren't having fun, what's the point? So that's what it looks like. It's pretty damn awesome.
I think it looks neat.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times it got lapped.
Let's see. Sorry, 1 second. Gears and Gasoline, one of the good car channels on YouTube, recently introduced a new series called Track Tested, in which they employ a semi-professional racing driver to run laps in cool cars at Virginia International Raceway. That's one of the coolest tracks in the country, and certainly the best on the East Coast. This is going to be a good series, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So you can go over to Jalopnik and click the link, but to get there, you can follow it quickly through our link here in ohmTown. We don't actually go over the entirety of the article, really, but they don't have any stats or anything regarding this little beast. And only 8 comments on their website about it. So honestly, I wish more people would build cars that made me smile, is what the author says.
It took 3 minutes, I think, to get around the track.
How long does it normally take? First episode of the new truck series is a real banger, starting out strong with a time attack. Aero Kei Truck running deep into the 3-minute range. Deep into the 3-minute range.
Oh, wow. So maybe like 3:59?
Maybe. I don't know. You'll have to follow the light or the link through ohmTown. Let's keep going, though. The next article is over in 4-Wheel Tech, and HTSA finalizes 50.4 mile per gallon CAFE standard for new vehicles by 2031. So a whopping 50.4 miles per gallon. We should be there a long time ago. We should be at 150 to 200 miles per gallon. You know why? Because hybrid vehicles should be the ones that we go to that already get 50 miles per gallon. Just months after EPA announced its relaxed tailpipe emissions rules. No relaxed tailpipes in ohmTown. You keep your tailpipe fully closed. I don't know. Anyway, NHTSA announced fuel economy standards for light-duty cars and trucks that would require an average fleet fuel economy of 50.4 miles per gallon. So what they're going to do is they're going to have a whole bunch of really shitty vehicles getting 10 miles to the gallon, and then a whole bunch of hybrids as well. And the hybrids are going to sit in a parking lot because they're gutless. And all the other
But then
ones,
in total, they'll hit the average.
Because it says average fleet fuel economy. And that's the little reindeer games that the companies play. In fact, we know through MKBHD that there are manufacturers that are building hybrids to a specific data point, like a stat, so that they hit the minimum that's required by the federal government so that they can continue to produce the offset other cars. Yeah. So the article is over at Automotive News. George Waycamp is the author. The text statement says the fuel economy standards were designed to align with EPA's relaxed tailpipe emission rules, NHTSA said. And I didn't log in because I'm in my ARC browser and I'm a dummy. Anyway, the nuts and bolts of it is that, now these light trucks and some other vehicles, I think it's all light trucks, have to hit 50.4 miles per gallon as a fleet, not each individual. Light duty cars and trucks have to hit 50.4 by 2031.
So, like everything that somebody manufactures for a given year, then they average it?
Not just not manufactured. Like if it's a fleet, when they purchase the vehicles, the companies
Oh,
have to
okay.
hit a
Right, right.
15.4. Manufacturers also do have to hit a certain numerical value, but it's not necessarily a given year. It's in a production plan year. So yeah, quite interesting. Okay, let's keep going. We are gonna race through ohmTown. Maybe we're about halfway through. Next article is over in Four Wheel Tech. These are your favorite cars from obscure brands. I don't know of any obscure brands, but I'm sure that...
That's because they're obscure. I can't think of a single obscure car brand, can you?
Yeah, not anymore. You know, maybe when I was younger, I probably remembered these cars, but I'm not like deeply entrenched in the industry. So.
I mean, does it mean things like a DeLorean or something?
Maybe. That looks
But
like
I mean,
a Viper.
even that's like well known.
That looks like a Dodge Viper, though, but it's obscure brands. So Dodge isn't an obscure brand. 15 truly unique automobiles from brands that never made it into the mainstream. So that's really what it is. Bradley Brunell over at Jalopnik put the article together. I'm going to hit start slideshow. But ARC really doesn't like slideshows. Let me try it. Nope. Unequaled, unrivaled, Peerless Warwick GT. That's a
That's
wonky
an unusual car.
That is a wonky, derpy looking car.
It looks like it's a mashup of a bunch of different vehicles.
Oh yeah, it's regret all over it. This is the kind of thing. No. I'm sorry. I was gonna say this is the walk of shame the next day, but let's just keep on. Let's keep on driving. So worthy of the palace. This is the 1964-1966 Imperial, a very handsome and stately redesign from the overwrought 1961 to 63 models in response to the Lincoln Continental. I've heard of the Imperial.
I would have said it is something like a Lincoln.
Yeah, I think, the Lincolns were more boxy.
Oh, okay.
This starts to like teardrop down. And it's actually kind of boaty. That's okay. Let's just keep going. 1967 Bizzarini 5300 GT Strata. Looks like a Corvette, kind of.
Yeah, it does.
Jay Leno apparently has it. After Ferrari's Palace Revolt head engineer Giotto Bizzarini kind of turned into Italy's Carroll Shelby, the Shelby Mustang. In that he designed a new car featuring a sleek Italian-styled body, but powered it with proven American pushrod power using a Chevy 327. It produced 365 horsepower. Boom, boom. Pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it's well kept, so it looks pretty cool. I mean,
it looks a lot better than the Peerless.
It has that Corvette back end too, so I don't know. Let's see. New Caterham Super 7600. What is that? Tiny engine, huge fun. The Caterham Super 7600. That looks more like a dune buggy.
Yeah, is that a car?
Yeah, there's a whole video here that you can watch this thing. Caterham 7 is a car distilled down to driving perfection in their opinion. A buddy of theirs campaigns one in autocross, and riding along in the Cotsworth engine beast was the only time they'd ever gotten really car sick just from the G-forces. So it's a Cosworth engine inside this thing. This is like an old engine. How old is this vehicle, for crying out loud? I'd have to look it up. I don't know it enough.
It doesn't tell us any statistics.
There's 17 of these, by the way. So, forgotten classic
Well,
British
so
sports
far
car.
I've heard of 0 of them.
Marcos Mantara, ultra rare hand-built V8 showstopper. Anything from Marcos Engineering, but the Mantis and Mantara are their votes. Fairly obscure brand. Unique style. Fairly obscure. Let's see if we can just hurry up through these things. 2001 Ultima GTR. The Ultima GTR, a special place in their heart. Look at that.
It's very unusual on the front.
That's weird. It's really sitting low. It looks like you're actually in the center of the vehicle. It's more like a race car, so I discount that. This is the slide is titled what? Obscure to normal people or obscure to car enthusiasts. AMS Murtara. Oh, sorry. Muta. Wait, how do you pronounce that?
Murtaya, maybe?
It's a Murtaya. AMS Murtaya. Japanese powertrain, British design, American specs, Italian sounding name. No. Also the size of a Miata, but was all-wheel drive with front and rear LSDs, driver-controlled center differential, 6-speed manual, turbocharged boxer engine. 300 to 400 horsepower usually. In a Miata-sized vehicle with a boxer engine? Oh my God. So boxer is a Porsche engine. So this thing had to have been zippy. Let's just say that. Zippy. Looks like a Miata.
Mm-hmm.
The Allard J2X Mark II from Jay Leno's garage. It's just one of those old cars from 1953. Let's keep going. The 1955 Pegaso Z102, the Thriller.
This looks like this belongs out of some, I don't know, old movie, but I can't decide what.
I'll tell you exactly what it looks like it's out of. Cars.
Yes, exactly. Because it looks like it has like a face.
Yes. Short of it just sitting there and eyes starting to blink at you and then talk to you in kind of a stoner voice. It even looks like it has a sneer, like, get off my road, that kind of a thing.
They should have used this one for one of the
characters. It does have eyes. Look, there's a little eyeball right there and a little eye.
Mm-hmm.
I can. Oh my God. Let's move on. Chevy's Cobra Killer. The wild beast was meant to kill the Cobra, mighty V8 Chevy Cheetah. It looks like it looks like a manta fish, a manta ray.
Yes.
But on dry land, so not particularly happy and kind of going, help me. You okay?
Mm-hmm. It's weird because like half the vehicle looks like a normal kind of sports car, but the front, not so much.
Yeah, totally derpy. Let's keep going. The Noble M12 GTO3. I've never even heard of these cars.
Well, that's the point. But I thought we'd have heard of something on here. I mean, we have heard of a couple of the manufacturers, but not the models.
Yeah, it's supposed to be your favorite cars from obscure brands. I don't know. That's 14, that's 15. Wait, I don't know what they're going to be playing on this one. Ariel Atom. Oh, I think I've seen this kind of a car. It's an open frame car. It's more like a
dune buggy or something.
Yeah, if I remember right. Let me hit play. I'll mute it real quick, or not. Or not. All right, never mind. This is a revisit a last post office Scamel Scarab. What? It was playing on the previous slide behind this one.
That's weird.
All right. There's number 15, 1989 Quick Look MVS Venturi. And number 16, the Consulier, right? GTP. That was actually highlighted
That
in Motor Week.
that doesn't know what it wants to be.
Goodness gracious. And number 17 is everything else. All right. So let's go on to the next article. We spend a lot of time in these little rundowns like that. 9 of the fastest speeding tickets ever issued in America. The United States may be the land of the free, but drivers aren't free to go as fast as they would like. From sea to shining sea, people have been fined or even jailed for going twice or close to 3 times the posted speed limit. While not a conclusive list, the author of this article is going to give a snapshot of the chaos that has ensued. Going double or triple the speed limit can be the fastest way to meet a police officer. Ryan Eric King from Jalopnik put this article together, but it's posted at qz.com. Let's just do the slideshow. They were doing 131 and a 55.
Wow. In the state of Virginia.
Yeah, that's a good way to end up with. Yeah, so if you go
in jail
80 at all in Virginia, it's reckless driving. If you're doing 80, if you're doing 131 and a 55, they might actually just shoot you. Next slide. In 2015, a Connecticut man was pulled over by the Vermont State Police for going 112 on I-89. The driver allegedly told the trooper that he was on his way to traffic court for a different speeding ticket in the Green Mountain State.
I'm late for court.
Had to make that deadline. Only on ABC 11, the wild video of a street race stunt in Wake County. The car got up to 198 miles per hour.
Wow.
The driver was eventually identified as 22-year-old William Jefferson, who was later charged with street racing and reckless driving. Dodge Challenger. This person hit 155 on a Georgia State Route 400, 65 mile per hour freeway. The speed limit has since been lowered to 55.
Do you think it was because of this driver?
Yeah, I don't know. This driver decided to add triple-digit speeds to his cocktail, so he was drunk. This is a 139 mile per hour ticket in Hercules, California, roughly 10 miles north of Berkeley. Doesn't say what the speed limit is, does it?
No, but what I can't quite tell, some of these show a picture and
65.
they don't necessarily look like these high speed roads.
Right. Yeah, it looks like a neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right up here it actually says Indiana 158 miles per hour.
I was looking
70
at the
mile
bottom.
per hour.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard to hit that speed in a Challenger, for crying out loud. Arrested the driver.
Right, but it's more than double the speed limit, though.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the people, this is why we can't have nice things. Number 8 is 146 in a 70 mile per hour zone. Challengers and Chargers aren't the only Dodge cars that can hit triple digits on the speedometer. Maine police charged 18-year-old Tyler Barrows for allegedly hitting 146 in a Dodge Neon. Yeah, but that's been modified.
I was going to say, I didn't know they drove that fast.
That's an aftermarket cooler, and they've got air intakes and a scoop. It's supercharged, almost guaranteed. There's just no way. Plus 18-year-old, they don't have anything else going on. 182 and a 55. Illinois state trooper stopped Suzuki Hayabusa motorcycle rider, 39-year-old Rodney Jones, on I-294, going 182. Hayabusa is one of the fastest motorcycles out there, so I'm not surprised. I've tried to ride a Hayabusa, and it's just too much power.
He was going almost 4 times the speed limit.
Yeah, well, you know. In order to purchase high-risk insurance and pay a $375 fine. This is in 2010 in Illinois.
That's it?
That's it. Minnesota State Patrol pilot in a plane spotted 2 motorcycle riders blasting down US 61. they were going 205 miles per hour in a 65.
And was the son of the sheriff's deputy. Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, arrested on charges of reckless driving and driving without a motorcycle license. Jesus. It's insane. And that's it. Okay, so let's go on to the next article. The most fuel efficient vehicles in every category according to Consumer Reports. When you're shopping for a new car, price and practicality are important, but so is fuel economy. The EPA provides fuel economy ratings for almost every vehicle currently on sale. But how does that translate into real life? Their friends over at Consumer Reports independently test. So QZ Quartz. The author of this is Colin Woodard from Jalopnik. Consumer Reports independently test fuel economy. So let's find out. Let's do another slideshow. So this electric compact car category, the Kia Niro Electric EX, has 113 miles per gallon. It's estimated, though. It's an electric
it's
car.
Still really good, even if it doesn't get to that amount.
Yeah. So Nissan Leaf has the SL Plus, 104 miles per gallon. It's the equivalent electric compact. So going uphill, it's not going to get 104. Anyway, subcompact. Mitsubishi Mirage ES, 37 miles per gallon. Nissan Versa SV sedan, 32 miles per gallon. Compact cars, Toyota Prius XLE all-wheel drive, 51 miles per gallon. Hyundai Elantra Hybrid Blue, 48 miles per gallon. And I think that a 14-year-old built the door panels. Just kidding.
It sure looks like it. But I mean, with that brand...
That's a Toyota.
Well,
though.
never mind. Too soon.
A Toyota Corolla LE. No, that's a Prius. Anyway, 48 miles per gallon. Toyota Corolla LE hybrid. So hybrids get 50 miles per gallon or per gallon. Pretty good. Sporty cars, the Mazda Miata MX-5 Club, 34 miles per gallon. Honda Civic Si, 32 miles per gallon. BMW 230. The BMW 230i, 31. Mini Cooper S, 30 miles per gallon. And the BMW Z4 S Drive 30, which rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. It's like miles. That naming thing for the worst name, right? Like you need something recognizable, not just a string of letters and numbers.
Yeah, the BRZ4ML S by obscure car company. It actually exists. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't in here. Look at the miles per gallon equivalent on this. Ioniq. The Hyundai Ioniq 6, 103 miles per gallon. It's a midsize, so 4-door.
Wow.
It gets Toyota Camry Hybrid LE. That's not this. The Hyundai Sonata Hybrid SEL, 44 miles per gallon. So the Ioniq is pretty badass. Toyota Crown, 42 miles per gallon. That's a large car. Large Marge. Upscale luxury cars, Lexus ES300H. How many more slides are in? There's 17 slides, for crying out loud.
Yeah, you might want to jump to the end. Isn't there a thing that you can use to actually monitor your actual miles per gallon?
Usually you can calculate that. A lot of cars nowadays have it so that you can drive, and at the end of your drive, it activates and tells you how many miles you've driven. But you can download that kind of data too.
Right.
So 130 miles for electric upscale luxury vehicles, etc. So, but there's 8 more pages of this, so I'm not going to go through all of that. Look at that. Pickup trucks.
The point is, there's lots of cars that claim to be fuel efficient, and probably are, but they're probably not going to hit the actual numbers listed here.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's keep going. The last 2 articles. This next article is in ohmTown Daily. EVs are too expensive. Here are 5 cheaper models coming soon. And I'm just going to jump right on over to Business Insider. Tom Carter put the article together. And a $35,000 version of the Chevy Equinox will be available later this year. That's a big car for $35,000. I don't know.
It is.
According to Edmunds data, the average transaction price of an EV in 2023 was $61,702 versus $47,450 for other vehicles being ICE and hybrid. So the Volvo EX30, $35,000 price tag, 275 mile range, 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. The Kia EV3, let's see. Kia and its South Korean parent company Hyundai have seen U.S. sales surge this year as they cash in on demand for more affordable EVs. They say the EV3 has got a 375 mile range and can charge from 10 to 80% in 31 minutes, which is still 7 times what I am willing to sit around for.
Well, and then how long does it take to get from 80 to 98 or whatever it can actually hit?
Yeah, 7 hours. Probably. I don't know. But that's past that 80% mark. The battery is too hot. You can't get enough electrons in it to charge it. It takes forever. It's ridiculous. It's anyway, don't get me started.
Insane.
AI, don't get me started. Chevy Equinox and Bolt. I actually like the Chevy Equinox styling. I don't know why, but I do. It's $35,000, 319 mile range. It says that it went on sale for $43,295. It also has a $35,000 version with a 319 mile range electric crossover coming later this year, which could sell for less than $30,000 with the $7,500 federal tax credit. That's not that bad. Time to go electric.
No, prices are dropping a little bit because nobody's buying EVs.
That's right. The VW ID 2 All, I guess it's an all-wheel drive version of it's under 20,000 euros or $22,000 by 2027. No way. That's ridiculous. In a step toward that, the VW, there's an effort to get it below 20,000 euros. And so this one is 25,000 euros, 27,000 US dollars. The battery powered hatchback last year. It's called the VW ID 2 All.
Okay, I'll believe that price when I see it.
Then there's the Rivian R3. Expected to start at $45,000 when deliveries begin in early 2026. A big upgrade on the R1S, which currently starts at $76,000, $75,900, whatever. Anyway, interesting, right? But I think that we can take it a step further. The next article is, think those EVs are too expensive. Here are 11 that are under $40,000, because the other ones are actually coming out in future years. These are actually on the market
These
right now.
Are currently available.
Yep. And the article is over at Ars Technica. The average new car price is $47,000. Here are 17 EVs for less than that. It says here are 11 in the title, but
maybe there's some bonus ones.
I won't be going through all of these. If you're looking for a car, then follow the link through ohmTown over to these articles. The Mini SE, these are all electric though. I'm a big proponent of hybrid. This one actually has a little badge on it, so it's a special kind of car.
Well, I don't think they have enough hybrids to feature because there aren't enough hybrids on the market.
True. Yeah, they're coming into vogue though. So Nissan Leaf, Mini SE, Fiat 500e, the Hyundai Kona Electric, which actually looks like the Chevy from the other...
The Equinox, right?
Hold on. That one right there. Yep. Look at you. Looks almost exactly like an Equinox, huh? Volvo EX30.
Wonder if it's like the same frame and everything.
Yeah, for sure. It looks derpy, the Hyundai Ioniq 6. This one right here looks really derpy. Oh, from this angle,
yeah, it doesn't look like it'd be a draw.
Yeah, look at that. What is that? That is an ugly ass.
And it's like, what kind of car does it want to be? It's too many different things going on.
Anyway, Tesla Model 3, Nissan Ariya. What are you? the Kia Niro
Exactly.
EV.
These all have identity crises.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. Volkswagen ID4. That looks like the Bolt. Or the Ioniq, actually. That looks like an Ioniq. Ford Mustang Mach-E. Abomination.
It looks
I
like anything but a Mustang.
Yep, for sure. It looks like a Dolphin, not a Mustang. I don't know why. It just looks. I don't know. Blech. I don't like it. Maybe that's the problem. I'm too opinionated. Hyundai Ioniq 5, Chevy Equinox EV, Kia EV6, Tesla Model Y, as in why would you go and buy one? Here's the Toyota BZ4X, the one that I was talking about. Like, what the hell? What kind of a name is BZ4X?
Well, and what's going on with the front of that car?
Yeah, it looks like the house. Like little
It
black
does.
chop outs and stuff like that. But I heard it's really nice, the BZ4X. World's largest automaker has difficult relationship with electric car. It prefers to build hybrids, supported by questionable math that claims to show a greater CO2 reduction than can be achieved by building EVs. BZ4X or BusyForks. That cost $43,000, perhaps benefiting from the soft bigotry of low expectations. I was surprised to come away from a week with the BZ4X liking the car a lot more than they expected. Yeah. Subaru Solterra is the last one on the list. I actually like this car's design. It's kind of it wants to be rugged. It looks kind of mechanical, chunky. I like it. So
I like the shape of the car, but I don't like the front of the car.
it's like a Subaru Aztec kind of a styling to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the Subaru Aztec. Well, anyway, that is it for four-wheel tech. Dun, dun, dun. So we're going to race down Main Street at 3 times the speed limit and see if we can get pulled over by a sheriff. No, we didn't. All right. Well, that doesn't matter then. Where did I put that? I always forget where I put it. Four-wheel tech. And that's it for tonight. We are done. Ta-da! If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can leave them in chat, or you can send Dunkstar. You just showed up. I think I just missed you. You just pulled in. Yeah, it's actually, you're not supposed to even be up yet, are you? I mean, you're supposed to stream at around midnight. Maybe you're getting breakfast right now. So if you've never been to Dunkstar's channel, go. I can only say that you will thoroughly enjoy hanging out on the channel. The community is great. Laughs galore, no stress, no muss, no fuss, if you want a lot of soapboxing and opinion and kind of argumentation and debate and talking about the tech side of things and all kinds of things, then come over here and we can talk. If you want to have fun and witness a lot of banter and just great personalities all around, go over to Dunkstar's channel, DUNCSTAR. Dunkstar and their co-host, Timeless_EXE, is a timepiece and artificial intelligence as well. Kind of a little different than the sentient AI from the future here, but awesome channel to go and watch. So definitely go over there. Right around this time of year, they start streaming around midnight. So midnight Eastern. All right. Well, anyway, that's it for tonight. Thanks for coming by, Dunkstar. Really do appreciate it. We've had people dropping in periodically, but we are done for the night. We had 5 shows today, including a time machine show. And we've done 7 podcasts this weekend so far, including this one. And then on Friday and Saturday, I also did 4 more game showcases that are over on YouTube. Those won't get turned into a podcast or anything, but you can go and check all of those out as well if you're interested in that kind of thing. I make some color commentary about games that I think are interesting. And I'll be going back through this week as well and looking at additional videos about games, and I'm making a big list. I've got about 30 demos that I'm going to be doing over the next week. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, stick around. Be sure to follow us here on Twitch, twitch.tv/ohmtown, over on YouTube. It's youtube.com/ohmtown. Then there's the Patreon and the Discord. Where else? I don't know. There's a TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for tonight, folks. See you tomorrow. Going back to 8 p.m. For ohmTown Daily News Show, if that's what you're interested in. But if you follow anywhere, YouTube or here on Twitch, you'll get notified when I go live, and then you can come and hang out. Might be talking about news, might be playing some games. You'll get notified of what it is, and then stop by and hang out. But until then, see ya tomorrow. I am Mayor Watt, and right there is the Sentient AI's visualizer. You want to say goodnight?
Good night, hometown citizens. We'll see you next week for another episode of 4-Wheel Tech. But be back tomorrow for streaming and for ohmTown Daily.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.